Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth with Scott Leroy Marketing, and welcome to Command Websites 201. Today is October 13th, so if you are viewing the recording, some of the features may have changed. I am starting out today in Mozilla Firefox, but you can also work this really well with Google Chrome Incognito. So start out by going to command, which is agent.kw.com. That's the agent login to command. You'll enter your username, which is not case sensitive. It's something like first initial, last name, maybe a number, and your password, which of course is case sensitive, and click sign in. So in today's class, I'm going to be taking you through adding in 5 pages to make your website a little more customized and make it look a little better for your clients, because you want your website to be a sort of one-stop shop for all of the tools they may need as they go through a real estate transaction with you and your business. I am going to be walking you through adding in those tools, those pages for your clients, so it sets you apart as an agent in your market. And we're going to start by going to your marketing profile, which can be found under your name in the top right corner of command, and then under settings. Next, you'll click to drop down the Connect settings on the left-hand side to select Marketing Profile. Again, to find this, it'll be under your name in the top right corner, Settings, then Connect Settings, and Marketing Profile. So checking out this page is always going to be in your best interest, because first, you want to make sure this use my information to brand my agent site toggle is green or on. This will brand your website to you with all of the details on this page, so that you don't just get the default kw.com website. So again, you want to make sure this is green. Going down the page, you just want to make sure all of the fields are completed, up to date even. Some biographies may say, I've been at it for 2 years, maybe it's been 3 now. So you want to make sure not just all of the fields with the red asterisk, which those are required to save your marketing profile, but I always suggest filling in all of the fields so that they syndicate completely. So you have your bio, you have this new military affiliation. This won't syndicate anywhere quite yet, but it's a new field here. You want to make sure your email, phone, market center information. If your state board or office requires any legal footer text, I'm looking at you, Texas, or any links, Texas. Legal footer text is more like New York. Any legal footer images, and of course your social media pages as well. And I'll show you where these populate at the very end of class. So if you have updated anything or added anything here, don't forget to click this save, the big blue button at the very bottom. You want to make sure those changes are applied before moving forward. You'll then see this, your marketing profile was successfully saved. So now you can click that X to close that and you're good to go. Now, if your marketing profile is blank or we did not set you up originally, we do suggest checking out our website 101 class. You can find that at slmtraining.com. We also have a short form that you can fill out on our website so that we can complete this marketing profile for you. Now that we have all of that completed, let's head over to consumer. It's going to be the very last applet in the left-hand menu. The little icon is 2 web pages stacked. If you do have a smaller screen, you may have to zoom out. You can generally find Zoom on your internet browser by clicking the menu in the top right corner and then clicking the little minus sign to zoom out. Smaller screens tend to cut off these last few. And of course, while you're still learning the names of the applets, you can click the red square with the white KW to expand the names. And again, consumer is the very last one. Now your screen may look a little different than mine. I've had Command for quite a while and I do have different pages added just for play. So if you don't see any pages here yet, don't worry, we are going to be adding a few. You may also just see the 3 original that we create for you, the contact us, company profile, and about me. But you definitely want to see your configured agent site link here at the top in this blue banner. Again, if you don't have that quite yet, I recommend viewing our website 101 class prior to this class, since this is a more advanced version. So first page we're going to create is a testimony capture page. So you'll start by clicking the big blue create a new page at the very top right. It will default to on my agent site, so leave that highlighted in blue and click create page. First things first, let's name our page. Now, this is not going to be public information, but you do want to name it something that you'll remember. So you can say something like testimonial capture, leave a review, submit a review, whatever you'd like here. Next, over on the right-hand side, you'll see all of the widgets that Keller Williams has provided thus far. And then on the left is your workspace, left and center. You'll see you can preview this page in different devices like desktop, tablet, or mobile. There's an undo and redo button. And there's also a preview, which is just the rounded square. So for this testimonial capture page, we're going to use this testimonial capture form widget. Should be bottom left column. And what you're going to do is simply click and drag that over to the left-hand workspace. you'll see a green bar populate. That's where it's going to populate on the page. So when you release, that's where it's going to stick. So once you click and drag, simply release your mouse and it'll drop that in the workspace. Next step is to click Configure Widgets down in the bottom right corner. You'll see that this widget so far is grayed out, and in the top left corner, it says widget not configured. So next step, go to Configure Widgets. Now, if you do have more than one widget on this page, it's going to list them out here. But since we only have one listed, so we're going to click to configure. This one has the team name field. Now, even if you aren't on a team, we recommend putting your name here because it does populate in a few places. I'll show you once we save and apply. So if you have a team or group, enter that here. Otherwise, enter your name. Yeah, if you get this widget cannot be configured, click that Configure Widgets down at the bottom right. You do want to make sure that your widget is also selected prior to clicking that button. Next is headline text. So just as you see on the preview, this is where that's going to syndicate to. So if you want to put something like client reviews or leave a review or how was your experience, put that here. Again, watch the character count. Next field is the description. Now you can leave this as the default text. We normally do, it's good text, but if you would like to edit it, you can. And same goes for the review headline and the review placeholder text. Again, it's default info, but you can leave it if you'd like. So once you have all of those fields to your liking, simply click Save and Apply. And you'll see the headline come over and the team name or your own name come over right after how would you rate your experience with blank. You'll also see that name populate down here. Would you recommend? Yeah, if you're getting that message, I would suggest changing browsers, Mozilla Firefox, or even Google Chrome Incognito. So now that we've updated the widget here, you'll click Save Changes in the top right corner. And with this box, would you like to continue to site and app settings to publish your page? If you are just creating one page at a time, I would recommend yes, but since we're going to do 4 more, click no. We're going to finish up the second half of making the pages live and sorting them on your website later. So you don't have, there's not as much back and forth. So that'll save some time. Next page, we're just going to do the same thing. Click Create a New Page. Leave on my agent site. Click Create Page. This one, we're going to add a testimonial display page. So this is where all of the testimonies are going to be shown after they are submitted. Now you can also skip this page for now until you have testimonies. I will show you how to submit them at the end of class. So we'll submit a testimonial. Wow, say that 10 times fast. So that you can see where they populate. But this is how you would create that page. So I've simply named it Testimonial Display. You can name it Testimonials or Testimonial List even. Now you'll see two testimonial display widgets over on the right. You have the carousel and the list. The carousel is going to be more horizontal. It's going to scroll through the 3 or 4 testimonials, and that's the max is 3. So it's going to scroll through them. Kind of cool to add it to the bottom of any other page, but not necessarily if you want to show more of them. The one that we highly recommend is the testimonial list. Now this will show up to 10. So you want to click and drag over to the workspace, just like we did the capture form previously, and release. Again, this is going to be gray because we haven't configured widgets yet. So next step, click that configure widgets button. Again, this is going to be a list if you have more than one, but we only have one. So just select to open it. And you'll see a few fields again. First one's headline. This is required. Max character limit 60. So put something in here like client reviews, client testimonials, what have you, short and sweet. And then intro text, it's going to be kind of like a subtitle. It's going to be right underneath. So something like, you know, what our clients are saying. Next section is client details. So this is what you want shown on this page. And you'll see in the preview here, this is just default information. Nina Royals of Royals Realtors is not a real person. You'll see Austin, Texas. This is just the text Keller Williams put as fillers. But this is where you would see first name, last initial, city, client since, even neighborhood. So if you don't want to show any of that information, maybe client since, if you're a brand new agent. Of course, the testimonials don't necessarily have to be real estate related. So if you have any, you know, from previous occupations, you can have them submit those here as well. And then I actually have already had a testimonial submitted. So once they are submitted, you will see them down in this last section, the selected testimonials. And this is where you can check to show this testimony on this page or deselect to not show it. Once you have all of these fields to your liking, click Save and Apply. Here's that first name, last initial, from city, state, client since, neighborhood. Again, I'll show you where these are submitted at the end. And just like last time, we're going to click Save Changes in the top right. Again, we're gonna skip this step and do it all at once at the end. So click no. And there's your second page. We're on a roll. Now this third page is kind of stepping it up a notch. Again, we're going to start by clicking create a new page. We're going to leave on my agent site and click create page. So just like the other two, we're going to start by naming it. And I have problems typing out calculator, so if I misspell it, I apologize. But this one, we're going to use a mortgage calculator. Now, this is great for your clients so that they're directed to your website with your branding and you have your own mortgage calculator on your website. So let me pop this link into the chat. It will also be in the notes in the description of the YouTube video recording. This is a free mortgage calculator widget. Step one is to set your defaults. Of course, you can always leave these as well. And step two is to copy your source code. So if you're happy with these defaults, simply click this. It's kind of a very light gray button, copy to clipboard. And once you click it, it'll quickly flash copied. But I say this is a step up because this is working with, coding that we're going to use to display the mortgage calculator. So flipping back over to command for you. Again, we've already named our page. We're going to, instead of the widgets, we're going to flip to the content blocks section because the widgets is dropped down right now. We're going to drop down the content blocks instead. I do not have a copy of a widget for a home valuation. What we do is create a landing page so that a consumer or client can submit their name, email, phone, and comment to have that done by the agent manually. I don't know of one that would do one automatically unless, maybe it's through your MLS or RPR, something to that effect. So the first content block we're going to use is text. So I'm just going to click and drag it. And we want it green. And I'm going to release my mouse. In order to save a page though, and if you were to go try and configure, you'll see it's grayed out. And it does say add a widget before configuration. And you can't even save yet. To publish this page, click the configure widgets button and fill in all required fields. So it does kind of prompt you, but in order to save this page, you must also add a widget. The one we suggest is download my app. So you can click and drag this one over to the workspace as well. I do highly recommend putting it below the text box. But this one's really nice and clean. It's short and sweet. There's nothing to edit. It looks good just as it is. So this is the widget we use when using text boxes. So it may be on your website more than once, but that's totally okay. So now we're going to go back up to our text box and you'll see even hovering over it highlights it. And then I'm going to double click to edit and highlight that insert your text here and delete. So whether you double click to edit and then backspace all of the text, or you press Control A on your keyboard and then backspace to delete, you know, whatever you'd like to do, however you're comfortable deleting that text, just delete that text. And then we're going to right click and paste. And that'll paste that code in there. So again, delete that, insert your text here first, and then right click, paste that code copied over from the mortgage calculator website. Now, once we click configure widgets, you know, just like we always have, we should see I can go over this step again. So first, we want to insert a content block, the text one. Click and drag and pop it in the workspace. And then we want to add a widget because command won't let us save without one. So you want to click and drag that over to the workspace. And then you want to delete that default text that's in that text box, the insert your text here. And then right click, paste that code. And it's wanting to be a little funky with me today. So let me try this again. It doesn't like me doing things more than once, apparently. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all of the text, delete, right click, paste. And if you are seeing the same thing, another thing you can do is highlight this text again and click this link icon. It's two little chain links, three little chain links. The mortgage calculator widget came from the website that I posted in the chat. And the download my app widget came from the widgets drop-down menu on the right-hand side. There we go. So we highlighted all of that code text and clicked link, and it displayed it for us right away. So now we can save changes. And again, we're not going to go to that next step quite yet because we have two other pages. So for now, click no. And the next page, again, click create a new. Leave on my agent site. Click create page. This one is going to be a local school search. So I'm going to name it as such, you know, local schools, school search, local school search, school finder, great schools, which is the app. So that's where we're going to head first. popped that in the chat, and it's also going to be in the notes. And just like the mortgage calculator has some fields you can set, so does the school. So you want to choose an address, zip code, or city and state where you want this map to be centralized to. And once you enter that and tab to the next field, your map will update. I do suggest leaving the size of the widget as is. Next, you'll enter your email address. This can be any email address. It doesn't necessarily have to be your KW email. That's just my shortest one. Next field is enter the website URL. So this is where the widget's going to be posted, your command website. Next, check the I agree to the widget terms of service. Of course, reading the terms of service as well. And click Get Widget Code. So unlike the last widget, there is no simple click to copy. You will have to manually copy this. So just click in the top left, hold and drag all the way down to the bottom right. You can also click inside this box and press Control A on your keyboard. And then right click, copy. And then we'll head back to command. And same steps as last time. So first I'm going to pop over my download my app. Click, drag, drop. Then I'm going to go down to content blocks. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Similar to the last one, but not quite. This one looks better in the agent profile. I'm getting ahead of myself. So if you have already downloaded or put in that download the KW app widget, click to select and click the little trash can icon. Sorry about that. For this widget, the local schools, this looks best within the agent profile widget. So that's the one in the right-hand column at the very top. So you're just going to click, hold, drag over to the workspace. And this information's pulling from the marketing profile, but we're just going to replace it. So after choosing our widget, we're going to configure widgets in the bottom right. Now you can change your headshot if you would like here to like a school bus or, you know, maybe even a map, whatever you'd like. But we generally leave the agent's headshot so that it's branded to you still. Page title, you'll see where this is going to go here. We recommend something like local schools, local school search, school finder, whatever you'd like. Role and company, you see it's blank here, and this is default text. So this is where it's going to populate. It's going to be like the subtitle. So if you don't want anything here, you can just put a space. But you can also type out something like that. Search for local schools using Great Schools School Finder. I don't know. That's probably saying schools too much. Next field is bio title. So you'll see this text is populating here. It is required. So if you don't want anything here, simply put a space. And for the agent bio, again, this is local schools. We really don't need the bio. You just want to delete all of that. Either click, highlight, drag, delete. You can also Control A to select all and Control X to cut. But since you already have the code saved to your clipboard, you may not want to cut because it'll then paste it again. So to paste that School Finder code, right-click, paste, and you'll see it populate here. One extra step we're going to take here, doing a little bit of coding ourselves, is we're going to center it. So we're going to use the little bracket, type in the word center, and then close bracket, or greater than, less than, or pointy parentheses. And then we're going to do the same at the very end. So scroll all the way down, click to the right, bracket, center, bracket, close bracket. And pasted that in the chat as well in case you need it. So that's going to center that little map on this screen, and you'll see that once we apply it. The next three fields I would leave. You want your information down at the bottom, just another place for them to see it and this page to be branded to you. So once all of these fields are to your liking, click Save and Apply. And you'll see that populate on the left. Next step, Save Changes. Again, we're clicking No. We're saving that step for last. Last page here, we're actually going to start in our Gmail. So this is my KW email. It does not necessarily have to be your KW email though, but to use Google Docs, it would be a Google email. So in your Google email, if you click the little 9 squares in a square, the Google Apps, you'll find Docs. Now it may be in a different location. You may have to scroll to find it, but select Docs. And this is Google's version of Microsoft Word or Apple Pages. We use this format so that it's stored somewhere where you're going to keep it. So you'll click Create a New Document. Mine's in the bottom right corner, the little plus sign. I always suggest starting out with naming it. So if it auto saves, you can find it later. And this custom page can be anything your heart desires. We commonly see this used as a real estate blog or even just sold. You can also do just listed, under contract, for sale, lots and lots of different things, under the sun. Yeah, I mean, you can create a custom page for anything. But for today, we're going to do a just sold. So just like this page can be anything you want, you can add anything you want within this page. For a just sold, what we commonly see is picture of the house. And I'm going to shrink this down and center. And then maybe the address. You know, maybe you bold it, Control B or B up here. Maybe a price. Maybe a sold date. You know, whatever information you want to put here. Then you can put a few spaces. Do another one. Similar information. What have you. Let's add one more, just because I have another picture. So you can also kind of see how this can be a blog as well, or maybe even newsletter, maybe a preview of your newsletter. You know, you can have the pictures be different headers and then your information, you know, about local hotspots or what have you. But this is how we commonly see just sold pages. You know, you can also add columns in. So if you want to do more than one column of them, you can. If you want to change the text formatting, you know, the colors, italics, underline, font even. Whoa, would not suggest that one, especially with italics and bold. You know, if you want to left align it, you can. But we suggest a Google Doc so that you can still edit this page. You can come back and add to it if you wish. Probably won't do blue either because that generally signifies it's a link. So now that we have this page created, you want to highlight all, which I like doing Control A on my keyboard. You can also edit, select all. And then edit, copy, or Control C on your keyboard. So now that we have that page created, we're going to head back over to Command and start a new page. So create a new page, leave on my agent site selected, click Create Page. We're going to name our page. You know, if it's a blog or if it's a just sold, just listed, under contract, sales this year, utilities, sports teams, metropolitan attractions, you know, what have you. Tax search, lots of ideas. And then just like the mortgage calculator, we're going to use the download my app. So I'm going to click, hold, drag, drop. And then we're going to find the content block, text. Click, hold, drag. Of course, you want it above the download the KW app. So you want that green bar on the top. And release. Again, you want to delete this text. And now that our cursor is on the very left, you'll see it if I don't hover over it. You can paste, which is Control V. And that'll take what's on your Google Doc and put it here on this page. Now, you can edit this text here, but it won't be saved so that you can edit it later. So we do recommend editing that Google Doc first and then pasting it over here. But now that we have this page added, there's one more piece to editing this. So you'll see that it is centered now because we centered it on the Google Doc. But if you had any longer text, it would expand all the way from the left side to the right side. So what we want to do is make this page a little more web friendly. So we're going to click the little paintbrush icon in the top right. Again, that's the paintbrush icon, the third one. And then select dimension to drop that down. We're going to change 3 fields here. First is width. We're going to change that from auto to 1000. Now it's going to be 1000 pixels. And as soon as I click in the white space, it's going to update that on the left. So you'll see how it changes from all the way wide to 1000 pixels. The next field we're going to change is underneath the margin section. We're going to change the right margin. And we're going to delete that 0 and type auto. AUTO for automatic. And the next field we're going to edit is the left. So right below it, left margin. Again, changing that from 0 to auto. You can click in the white space to apply or tab on your keyboard. And you'll see that box then pops back to the center. So those 3 fields underneath the paintbrush were width, right margin, and left margin. That's how to get that page a little more centered better on the website. So now that we have this page to our liking, click Save Changes. And this time, drum roll, we're finally going to click Yes. We've created our 5 pages, and now we want to go to Site and App Settings. If you accidentally clicked No, no worries. It's going to take you back here to the Agent Site Pages tab. You know, this is looking familiar. Simply click Site and App Settings at the top right. And then Agent Site Pages, the very last tab on the right, to get to this page again. So again, this page may look different on your screen versus mine. I already have some pages added, but this is your website navigation. So first step, click Add Page. And you're going to see the pages that you added and when they were created. So all the more reason to make sure that you named these pages well enough and not just left the default text, because that would have been super confusing. So we'll add the first one, click continue. Then you'll want to enter the page title, URL slug, and SEO description. So page title, this was our testimonial capture. So you can put something like leave a review. Now this will be public facing, so you want it to have a little bit better verbiage. Next field is URL slug. It must be unique, so different than all your other pages. We do just recommend simply putting the page title in. Just note, it doesn't allow spaces or special characters. So replace spaces with a hyphen. And that is going to be, it's going to give you a preview of the live URL directly to that page. And then SEO description. If you are not sure what all to put here, we do have these 5 pages and more of our pages that we do create on our class notes. Pop that in the chat for you. This will also be in the YouTube video description. But here's what we would put for the title, slug, and SEO description. Once you have those 3 fields filled in, click Save and repeat. So we're going to add page. This time we're going to choose the testimonial display. Continue. Name it. Plug in a URL slug. Type in an SEO description. Again, that can be found on the notes page. And click Save. So continue that process for the other pages. Add page, mortgage calculator, continue. Let's go copy this SEO description from the notes and save. And again, add page, local schools is next. Continue. Back to the notes. Let's find this SEO description. And save. And last but not least, the just sold page. Now, the URL slug does not have to match the page title. So if you have a page title and it's long, or you want a quicker URL, you can make it different. And save. So now that we have all 5 of our pages added here, you'll see that they just started populating at the bottom, but this is how you can edit your page menu. So you can click and drag these 6 little dots and move wherever you want the pages to be in your page menu. This class is being recorded, so you can visit the recording on slmtraining.com later today. So to preview your website, head back over to Agent Site Pages, tab in the top left, and click in the blue banner to go right to your website. And the page menu is here at the top right. This name of the menu is your team name. So if it's not your market center, it would be your personal name or team name or group name. That can be changed in the marketing profile. At this time, this is the only template for your website. So there's not a way to be able to make this menu horizontal, like tabs across the top. But we do hear that Keller Williams may roll out different website templates that may have the tabs along the top. But for now, this is the menu. So this is what it'll look like. So you can see the 5 pages that we added. Here's local schools. Here's a mortgage calculator. And maybe that's a test one that I did. Yep, here's the mortgage calculator. You can find your market center number at the top of your MyKW account. So go to mykw.kw.com, log in, and your market center number will be at the top. Here's what the recently sold homes looks like. Here's the leave a review. And then here's the all reviews. So popping back over to the leave a review, just in case you don't have any quite yet, either you can direct your clients or past clients to this page. You can copy and paste this URL, in a text or email to them. Or if you have reviews from Zillow or email or Facebook post or Facebook page even, you can take that information and put that in here yourself. So let's say I have my Zillow reviews pulled up, and this one's from Brian Smith. This is their address. They only use the address to find the city and neighborhood, and it'll then tell them what all it'll show. But if they want, they can just put city and state, or city or state, whichever. Client sense, they can either type or choose from the drop down. How would you rate if you are filling this in for someone else? You can ask them or you can click 5 stars, paste that review here. Would you recommend? Yes or no? Preview. And then they're going to see it here and then submit. Once they submit, they'll get the green thank you. And that will then come back to your testimonial page in Command. At this time, there is no alert for that though. So every once in a while, you will want to come check this to see if any testimonials have been collected, or you can mention to your client or past client, simply let me know when you make a review. Any of these pages, you can go in and edit by clicking the 3 dots and edit. It's also where you would delete. So going in to edit this page again, you would just click Configure Widgets, select it from the list, and it may take a minute. It may also need a refresh because I've been on here for a minute. But that's where you'll see that new testimony. But that's it for class today. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let us know. Our website is scottleroymarketing.com and contact information at the very bottom. But thanks for watching and hope you have a wonderful day.